Yes, ma. We welcome also Mr. Kamal Habib. Welcome on the call this morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Yes, sir. And we welcome Admiral John Kpokpogri. Hey, sir, please confirm. I hope I pronounced it well. Is it Kpokpogri? Admiral, can you hear me, please? Network issues. Admiral, we cannot hear you, or I cannot hear you from my hand. I don't know if any other person can. Though I'm looking at your face, but I guess you are trying to communicate, but I don't know. Maybe you need to unmute. At the bottom button, sir, the first icon is like a microphone. You may need to click it and make sure there's no stroke across it. That way we'll be able to hear you. Can you try that, sir? I want to be sure you are with us. Okay. While he works on that, let's move on to the business of the day. So I would like to start with, wow, I have a woman and two men. So there's going to be some kind of sentiments this morning. So let me start with you, ma, Mrs. Sabina Onyeka, Porbeni. Can we meet you, ma, in like 2 minutes? Who are you? What do you do, ma?
Thank you. My name is Mrs. Sabina Onyeka Porbeni. I'm a senior foreign affairs officer with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs.
Okay. Do you mind telling us a little bit more? What do you do in your own specific office as a senior officer in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Currently, my job as a senior foreign officer is foreign affairs officer is to make reports. First of all, I attend meetings and cover meetings for the Honorable Minister because I work directly in his office. Then after that, I make reports on such meetings. And then also I analyze any report or messages coming from our embassies across the world and make a smaller report of it to the honorable ministers and to senior colleagues to make sure they get the essential details of what each report and each message is saying. So basically that's, and then also I also assist in the liaison between my ministry, other countries, and then other MDAs, that's other agencies and other agents of government when necessary. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Okay, sorry, if you wouldn't mind, that last line, I didn't get it well.
Okay,
hello, ma, can you hear me? So, ma, you may need to check your network.
Okay.
Yes,
you can you hear me now?
Yes, ma, I can hear you from my hand.
Okay, so I don't know at what point you lost my communication, but I said.
Okay.
Yeah,
let's
go.
I got the fact that you report directly to the minister. I got the fact that you take briefs from the different embassies and then communicate to the minister. I think that's the point I lost you.
Okay, and then I also said when necessary, I'm also a part of the team that liaises with other MDAs, intergovernmental agencies, based on what we gather from the embassies. For instance, if there's an issue that involves another agency, it's our duty to contact that agency based on what we got from the other embassies and the other governments across the world.
Okay, ma. Okay, ma. Thank you so much, ma. As with other governmental agencies. Okay. Thank you so much, ma. Mara, I'm not. I want to be sure you can hear us now. Can you, ma? Can you, sir? Admiral John Kpokpogri, can you hear us, sir? It is well. Okay, Mr. Kamal Habib, Can you hear me? I want you to confirm.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
Mr. Kamal, is it my network?
I can hear you.
Yeah.
I can hear him.
You can hear me, sir. All right. So we would like to hear from
Hugo. It's from there. Wait.
Okay, Mr. Kamal, sorry that before you think, we would like to hear from you, sir. Who is Mr. Kamal Habib, and what does Mr. Kamal do?
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes, I can hear you faintly, though.
Oh, okay. Is it better now? Can you hear me now? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir, it is. Yes, sir. Yes, I can, sir. I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, my name is Kamal Habib.
Mr. Kamal, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you. I don't know. Yes, sir, I can.
Hello?
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me, sir?
I think I can hear you now.
Ah, okay.
Can you also hear me?
Yes, I had to change network.
Okay. All right. My name is Kamal Habib. I'm an assistant director in the Lagos State Ministry of Economic Planning and Projects.
I'm listening, sir.
Okay, I just want to confirm if you got all what I said.
Okay. I got the fact that you're an assistant director, but I didn't get the ministry.
Oh, Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So presently, I'm in the budget department of the ministry, and we're in charge of the preparation of Lagos State's annual budget and also seeking to the implementation of it.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you so much, sir. Admiral, sorry, are you true, sir, Mr. Kamal? Sorry, I thought you were done.
Yes, I am.
Thank you.
Done.
Admiral John Kpokpogri, I trust you can hear.
Yes, I'm with you.
Oh, okay, sir. Good
I
morning,
can hear
sir.
you. I can hear you. Good morning, my brother.
Yes, sir.
I'm fine.
Yes, sir. So we are trying to meet our panelists. We would like to know who Mr. Admiral is, Admiral John is, what is Admiral into, and to take it from there.
Okay, I'm Admiral John, Kpokpogri, retired. I am the CEO. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay,
I am from my end, I can hear you.
I am the CEO of Delta Maritime Solutions, and I'm a helicopter pilot by profession in the Nigerian Navy, retired.
Okay, sir.
Did you get that?
Yes, sir. I got that. I got the fact that you presently work as a CEO of Delta Maritime Security. I got the fact that
Solutions.
Delta Maritime Solutions. Okay, sir. I also got the fact that you retired as the helicopter pilot in the Nigerian Navy.
Correct.
So, do you mind more, sir, about what your company is into, the Delta Maritime Solutions? Maybe to be of help in our discussion this morning.
The Delta Maritime Solution, what it does,
yes, sir,
is he relates with his companies, foreign companies abroad, when they bring their goods, i.e., cement,
okay,
items like fuel. So we registered with Nigerian Navy for Navy to provide naval armed security on board the vessels offshore because of piracies and miscreants at the high seas. So the naval personnel board the vessels offshore and escort them into the various ports in Nigeria.
Okay, sir.
Did you get that?
Yes, sir, I did. Did they get to various ports? I'm also taking some notes, so that's the reason for that, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Okay. Thank you for that bullet point, sir. We truly appreciate it. I would like to go to Mr. Kamal this morning. Sorry, I will be putting you on the hot seat for some minutes. You currently work in the Budget Office of the Ministry of Economic Planning, Budget, and
yes, sir.
Okay, and Economic Planning and Budget. Okay, sorry, I want to be sure I got that right. So I would ask, what was the journey like to you getting to this office? Yes, I know typically the number one thing is you're a civil servant, but excuse me, as a medical doctor, I'm not sure I'll be able to have what it takes for me to be assigned to an office that handles budgets for the states. And those, I'm sure you also handle education, I'm sure you also handle monitoring. And I'm not sure as a teacher, I will be able to do same. So, sir, what exactly do you think? No, not think. What exactly positioned you, brought you to an office like this, and is helping you be effective in the discharge of your own responsibilities?
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Well, as you rightly said, being a civil servant, there are processes, and by the virtue of my first degree was what, in the first instance, landed me in the ministry. Because in the civil service, I'm sure you are aware that there's a place for every discipline in civil service. So in Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, there are some certain disciplines that's where they are resident. Once you have a BSc in that. For instance, I had a BSc in mathematics.
Okay.
So those that have a BSc also in economics, they are residents in Ministry of Economic Planning. So by virtue of that, I found myself in budget, and first of all, we have like 5 core departments in the ministry. We have the Lagos Bureau of Statistics. We have the Economic Planning Department. We have the Budget Department. We have the Development Partnership Department, and the admin. So by virtue, I was formerly the Statistics Department. When I got in, along the line, internal postings and all, I found myself in budget. I've been in budget now for I think over 10 years now.
Wow. You are a senior man in budget. In short, for the standard budget, you should not even put pen to paper. You think that should you go even to the laptop? You should just be giving them more and that this should be here. We just be
Yeah. You'll be
strength there.
surprised that we do a lot. Yeah, yeah.
So if I may dive further, sir, based on your explanation, mathematics was a very key thing that brought you into a ministry like this. By and large, has also been the key thing that has sustained you in an office. Yes. So I love the way you started that there's no course that you do at undergraduate level that civil service is not able to accommodate because there's responsibility for everyone to be accommodated. I love that. So the next question I would actually love to ask is, for someone who is interested in joining civil service and who may also want to actually be in a ministry like this, of economic and budgets, who is not actually interested in coming over to do budget padding and the likes and all the sharp practices, who wants to really be in the business of planning budgetary? I would like to ask, yes, you study mathematics in school, but what are the other skills that you think have been hands-on skills that have actually helped you in this department? You have been there for 10 years, and I'm sure you're not the only one who joined. Obviously, over time, some people dropped by the way, maybe because they did not put additional skills, or maybe because they were not able to earn the present one that they have. So what do you think has actually sustained you over the years in this ministry, effective beyond the BSc in mathematics like this, sir?
Yes, thank you very much. I think as you have said it all, because once you find yourself in the civil service, unlike the years of the civil service, whereas once you come into the BSc or the certificate you have, that's what most of them usually end up retiring. But nowadays, you have to move with the times, which is what, by God's grace, we that we entered in the year, at least I got into service around 2000, 2001. So we that we got in around that time, those that were not able to upgrade themselves in terms of learning, being computer literate, adding some, paying for some, minor courses that will upgrade you, and even your conferences.
Minor courses like, I would like you to be specific. You mentioned computer literacy. Minor courses like what?
Yes.
These will be very key.
Well, if I'll be specific to my own field, I'm talking about database management courses.
Okay, database management courses.
So all these little courses helps to, apart from, in civil service, you get promoted, you do a promotion every 3 years based on recommendations from your superiors. So it's no longer based on, it's something that every 3 years automatically you get promoted. Now the system has been changed in such a way that you have a reporting system where you are graded on your deliverables. You understand? So it has now given rise to people to upgrade themselves. So that's like myself. I also, it's not just being computer, you have to attend different courses on computer literacy. For example, I go for before you can be vast in use of the system, I went for advanced courses in Excel, and this was years back in Excel. Because nowadays you don't have to do the manual, and you have to be literate in everything that you're doing. So you use Excel. Yeah, you use Excel and some other packages too. Then that you just have to, for you to be relevant in the field that you find yourself. It's not just for budget. It happens to in other ministries too. Because in a nutshell, the system itself has been totally upgraded from what it used to be. Because right now, even like I said 2 weeks ago, that Mr. Governor launched the LMS system, the learning management system, whereas you can just go there on your own to log into any of these courses and upgrade yourself. You understand? So these things help one to deliver more. That's like you. Hello?
Okay, thank you so much, sir. Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I hope I've answered the question.
Okay. Yes, to a large extent, yes, sir. You have done that. Thank you so much, sir. So, Mrs. Sabina, I would like to come to you at this point. To start with, is it accurate to call you a diplomat, ma?
Okay. I think that name would be more appropriate when I'm serving outside the country. Then you can call me a diplomat. But for now, while I'm still within my country, we rather go by the name Foreign Affairs Officer. So.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay, good. So, ma, for the purposes of some of us who are learning and some of us who actually aspire to become a foreign affairs officer, because that name itself, it carries some emphasis, you know, officer, it carries some emphasis, and we know it also comes with some perks of office. But like before we look at the perk of office, if at all we are interested, I would like you to discuss with us specifically what are the challenges that your assignment, your responsibilities come with. I know to every office there are always challenges. So we'd like to know what are the challenges you're always having to confront from time to time, the ones you have been able to overcome, the ones you are still presently working at. We would like to have an insight into what
Okay. First of all, I would like to clarify that this is me speaking as an individual and not as a mouthpiece or representative of the ministry at this point. So every opinion and view I give here is from my own personal point of view. So first off, I think the major challenge I feel my profession has is the same thing that's affecting almost every Nigerian sector. The fact that when we want to compare the way we run our profession to the global practice, we're still lagging behind in a lot of things. For instance, we may not have enough infrastructure as foreign affairs officers to carry out what our supposed responsibilities are. When I talk about this, for instance, in some other civilized countries, you'll find their foreign ministries having things like well-standard developed language labs where the officers could learn languages so that when you move to another country, language should not be a barrier for you. But we know how the country is at the one or two challenges. We've not been able to standardize our own to that global level. Also, the issue of training, considering what is obtainable regular as they should be for us to keep up with what is obtainable in the global.
But Segun aspires to become someone like you in the next 10, 15 years, maybe at the maximum. What do you think I need to do? What do you think are the steps that will be appropriate to position me? And how do you think I can go about it, ma?
Okay, in JS3, I believe he's about to cross over to the senior secondary classes. history, English, look for a way to learn how to communicate without getting angry. Listening skills, listen to people and try and read between the lines of what they're saying. All that is embedded in without
Segun has learned and is learning how to communicate very well, to listen, some myths.
there is a branch of the ministry that is called Technical Aid Corps. In that branch of the ministry, most times they pick people to send outside the country. The one I know very well, especially teachers, to teach certain courses outside the country. So we have such liaisons with different countries whereby Nigeria sends out teachers, maybe in sciences, in different aspects. So Segun could start from there, but if you want to go mainstream into the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, I don't think I've actually come across a situation where maybe someone who studied biology is in the ministry, although this is Nigeria. But the one I know mainly is people who studied arts, who studied things like international relations, history, political science, languages. Those are the ones I know are quickly taken mainstream into the ministry. But Segun could start with Technical Aid Corps, go on one or two of those, and then see if after that he could integrate by writing one or two exams and then going into the Foreign Service Academy and then going mainstream into the ministry. But otherwise, before there's no, it's never too late. Segun studies sciences. He could look for a way to maybe get another course in the university that would help. I'm not an educationist. I don't know how that will work out, but I think at least.
That's like Masters in International Affairs and Diplomatic Relations.
Exactly. Something like that.
Okay. Thank you so much, man. Let me allow you rest a little for now.
Thank you very much, sir.
Admiral John. Admiral, are you there, sir?
I'm with you. I'm here. I'm here, please.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So good to know that you have retired, and would like to know. Let me start with what qualified you. Yes, I know typically when it comes to military, they do bring out short course programs from time to time. But exactly what qualified you to joining the naval system, sir? And in asking for what qualified you, the question would be what specifically gave you the access to becoming a pilot in the Navy sector of the military hierarchy?
Yes, I went through the Nigerian Defense Academy. In the Nigerian Defense Academy, you have a choice on entry to choose either go to the Navy, the Army, or the Air Force.
Yeah.
I chose. Are you with me?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
Hello?
I can hear you loud and clear, sir.
Yes, I chose to join the Navy through the Nigerian Defense Academy.
Okay, sir.
On commission to the Navy, I was promoted from one rank, from sub-lieutenant to lieutenant, and I start climbing. At the rank of sub-lieutenant in the aviation sector, vis-a-vis helicopter piloting in the military, nobody choose you to go. Are you okay?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. To become a pilot in the military, Army, Navy, Air Force, you have to volunteer to be a pilot. Nobody handpicks you, say, come and be a pilot. You must volunteer to become a pilot. When you volunteer, you go for the aptitude test, you do all the medicals, and when you are successful, you are sent as a junior officer, sub-lieutenant or lieutenant maximum. You are sent outside this country to do your helicopter pilot training.
Okay, sir.
Hello?
I can hear you, sir.
So I went outside this country to do my ab initio helicopter pilot training in Perth, Scotland, 1982.
Wow. And sir, is that what still obtainable even as we speak? How long ago have you retired?
Say again?
I wanted to be sure if it's still the same system that is practiced in the sector, that you enter via Defense Academy, on commission to Navy, you take on basis based on volunteering, based on volunteerism, and you are able to go for training without any knowledge at all in piloting, and you are trained to manage an helicopter. Is this still the same that is obtainable in that naval sector, even as you speak, sir?
Still the same process.
Okay.
Still the same process. It has not changed.
Okay. So, sir, I would like to take
the Navy.
Let me hear you, sir. Let me hear you, sir.
Yeah, the Navy will always bring out a signal. Young officers who are interested in becoming a helicopter pilot should indicate. Young officers who are interested, you have to volunteer, not somebody picking you that you must be a pilot. It is voluntary.
Okay.
So when you volunteer and you go and you pass all the medicals and the aptitude test and you go for the training, it's a profession that you volunteer and you always want to do it. It's not that, oh, it is a Fapuro that picked me to go and do flying. No. Okay. So it's a voluntary profession.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Thank you.
Let me bring you forward, sir. To join the Defense Academy, do you need to have a BSc? Do you need to be an undergraduate?
No, sir. To join the Nigerian, the minimum qualification, you need 5 credits. 5 credits, including English and mathematics.
Okay.
Then annually, like now, there is an advert by the Nigerian Defense Academy that is 73rd regular course.
Okay.
It's open for Nigerians who are interested in joining this year, and it's going to end 24th of April.
Wow.
In 2 days' time. And this admission, and it's every year. It's an annual ritual.
Wow.
So if you are not aware, next year, January again, 74th regular will be out. So for those who are interested within the age bracket, can be looking for next year. So you have the young boys who are in SS3 now. They have, if they want to become pilots, they have a latitude of planning towards it. And it's open to both male and female. And presently, Nigerian Defense Academy is the only military university we have in our sub-region. It's now a university.
Okay. Okay. So what that means invariably is, let's assume I want to become a naval officer like you, and I already have a BSc. That means I can no longer enter via the Defense Academy route, because my qualification is now higher
you
than...
will come into...
Yes, let me hear you.
Hello? Yes. You are still available. You can still come into the armed forces, either the Navy, Army, Air Force, by direct entry. By directly into the Nigerian Navy, Army, Air Force.
Okay.
So you cannot get a BSc and going back to write another BSc in NDA. So you come into the Navy as a direct entry officer. Then the Navy will now send you to NDA to do a short service course for 6 months.
Okay.
Because you are coming to the Navy as a civilian, so we have to take you to NDA to go and do a 6 months course as a graduate and as a commissioned officer.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. I can hear you. I heard you, sir. I heard you, sir.
There's provision for university graduates to come in directly into the Navy, Army, or Air Force.
And typically, when does the form for this come out?
I think almost the same time, or if not later after this one. Every year, I think it follows this week. Hello?
Yes, sir. That means after the Defense Academy form is closed, that's when the direct entry form will typically open. Is that what it means?
I think so, yes.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Correct.
From what you have said, it looks to me that regardless of the course you have done, as long as you have basic 5 credits, you are qualified to join the military arm of our government. And I would like to take it further. Aside that, for instance, you volunteered to become a pilot, you went for the training. What were the other skills that helped you to distinguish yourself while you were still on service? Because obviously it was not only you that was sent to, was it Scotland you went to do the Spain, you went to do the training. It was not only you that went there, but some other skills beyond the fact that I can touch this one, I can apply this one, I know what this one will produce. What are the other soft skills that actually help you to stand out even in this field, sir? I would like to know.
There was no skill at all. All you require when you leave the NDI, come in as a young officer. When the Navy, once you are successful to go for your initial training, all the skills will be taught at the Air University. You don't require any skill here. And there is no helicopter training school in Nigeria, except the Nigerian Air Force. And Nigerian Air Force don't train civilians.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much, sir. I will let you rest a little for now. While I ask one of our, please, we are open to questions too, but let me come back to Mr. Kamal. Mr. Kamal,
thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you too, sir. I would like to hear from you, Mr. Kamal. In budget sense, and as a civil servant, what are typically the challenges that you face from time to time, so that anyone who is interested in joining government will not find it strange to see these challenges? I think typically you also have a challenge that sounds similar to that of Mrs. Sabina. The infrastructure is never enough, typically because it's not a typical private sector. And I also understand, like you mentioned, government and governor of Lagos State just recently launched a learning management system where people can go to learn. So outside these two, I would like you to mention that whoever is interested in coming to government need to be aware of, need to prepare for, and need to have a good hands-on grip on it.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, even though you sound a bit far, maybe you can draw the speaker mouth, sir. The mouthpiece, rather.
Okay. All right. I'll try better. Anyway, the challenges are abound. There are so many. Mm. Just like was earlier said. But you know, challenges are in different forms. There are the
Yeah.
challenges, the internal, and those from the external factors. But having said that, the part of the main challenges that I feel is also occurs in civil service is not really as a result of lack of this, or it's mainly the personnel. You know, in service, there's this notion that the work continues, it never stops. You know, so people tend to relax and not give in their best. Do you understand?
Yes, if I would put it in Yoruba, office Lorraine Yakowe.
Yeah, right. You understand? Mm, mm.
Now we do the work or not.
Yes, you know. So those things doesn't, unlike when it's compared to what is obtainable outside. You know, because even before I got into the service, I had worked like 4 years in the banking sector. So I was opportune to weigh the two. That when I got in there, then so you get to know that people, though it has really increased now, but we can still do better. That is one of my own things that I see as a major challenge. Because if everyone can really pick up himself or herself to the job, it's going to be a better. Because I myself, I don't know how many times I've gone out of my way to make sure I get trainings I do personally. But all that is not really in existence like that. So these things, yeah, eventually when it's not done, you don't give your best. So it's a major challenge. Aside someone has not about or stuff like that. You understand?
Thank you so much, sir. I'm thinking in my head and I'm just asking myself, looking at what you have said, it's more of a mindset thing, and I'm asking myself, is it because typically before now, is it because civil service don't seem to attract the best brains? Is that why we seem to have so much of this experience of lethargy that after, because my mates are in oil company, my mates are making more money, and I'm just here, you people are paying me peanuts, I cannot even afford to buy a car, and you expect me to give in the could that be a factor also that affects, and if it does also affect even the brilliant ones that eventually find themselves attracted or poached into the system?
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly what I'm driving at. You understand? But that's like I said, that was what was rampant at the days when I got in. But now you'll be interested to know that things have really, really changed. You see a lot of people now crossing in from even all these multinational companies, all because number one, the job security is there, and invariably they bring in stuff that wasn't there before now. So now you get to know that you see very, very young officers that are being recruited, and they are vast, especially in IT. You understand? So which has now shifted the level a bit higher than what it was several years ago. You understand? So now the case is much better. It's now attracting young minds, intelligent people into the service. And that's why the service now is looking robust, unlike what it used to be. So in a nutshell, I think when when good minds come into the service, or when the service, eventually is occupied with, all these youthful, brilliant minds, the service will now get to where, Lagos State wants it to be. Because either to before, we that we got in the year 2020, 2001, two, by the time any of us has to get to the post of the permanent secretary, I think things will totally change. That's how I see it.
Thank you so much, sir. So to our participants out there who is about making career decisions, it's very clear from the communication of Mr. Kamal, in addition to our other panelists, that the system, it's changing. I think it is. It's now a system that requires you to be spot on, to be alert, and to be ready to give in your best regardless of what the challenges are. It's no longer I don't do, I'll get paid. No, now you require your level to bring on board so that everything can synchronize and we can have a much more higher productivity index coming from there. Mr. Kamal, I would like to drive in further rather with you. Let's ask question as this is Segun in GSS 3, and Segun is about to make a decision program or the category of courses you would like to enlist into. Typically in GS3, we have the option of arts, we have the option of sciences, we have the option of commercial. And Sheikh is asking, what exactly is budgeting about? What do people even do there? Is it not to just sit down in front of the laptop and just do 1+1 together? How does that impact Lagos State? How does that help government? How will Sheikh feel important if Sheikh should aspire to come into this office?
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, as Segun, if he wants to come into the service, number one, the three aspects are the arts, sciences, and martial aspect. As I think it's only arts that I think for where I am, for the Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget, might not be able to. But there are some courses in arts. I think being a lawyer, because there are other professions in the ministry, like a resident lawyer that is posted to the ministry. So what I'm driving at is that invariably there is no discipline out of those three, being arts, commercial, or sciences. I cannot, work in economic finance. But what you have to do, you just have to streamline it. You understand? For instance, someone in commercial class that wants to work in economics and all to be able to get into Ministry of Economic Planning and Budget. Then for when I was in secondary school, yeah, I did science. I didn't even have the mind of coming into economic planning and budget. I just found myself there all because I did maths, and which was the office, the Lagos Bureau of Statistics. But from applying the figures and everything, I saw that I could blend into the budget department, which was, So what I'm trying to drive at in effect is that when the combinations are made and you still, even if you don't have the combination, when you get into service, there's a possibility that the postings, can bring you where you want. And by when it brings you to where you want, you apply yourself, and by what I said earlier, going for some courses here and there that can make you blend into wherever you feel that you are useful. Because basically, aside from being the what's it called, the medical line, whereas no other profession can do like the work of a doctor or a lawyer, there are just some few ones, a doctor, lawyer, and engineer. It has to strictly be all those ones. The others, if you can apply. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you, sir. There was a glitch, but you are back.
Oh, okay. But did you get all what I said?
Yes, sir, we got it. I got it from my hand.
Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's basically, that's it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
So, this is Onyeka. I would like to come to you at this point. And I'm asking myself, I studied arts in school. Does it mean in government it is only Ministry of Foreign Affairs that I could find my relevance? Are there other opportunities within government or civil service where I will still be relevant aside Ministry of Foreign Affairs?
Oh, of course not. There are a lot of ministries in Nigeria, the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Agri. So there are a whole lot of other ministries based on what they do that could fit people who studied arts in. So it's not just the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. So based on what you did, you studied, be it government, be it history, be it English, whatever you studied in the arts sector, there are a whole lot of other ministries that handle different things that you could fall under.
All right, ma. Thank you, ma. I would like to ask further, in the light of the challenges that you face as an foreign affairs officer, soft skills,
Sorry, I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Please, I would like you to take the question again.
I was asking that in the light of the challenges that you are presently encumbered with, even as an officer, what are some skills that have actually enhanced your productivity? It has enhanced your deliverable, it has enhanced your value, even as a senior foreign affairs officer.
Okay, so I think the basic thing,
going away from studying international relations, what are the other soft skills aside communication that like you mentioned earlier? I would like us to still dive deeper that has actually enhanced your productivity.
Okay, talking of soft skills, one can really not, you can't overemphasize communication, because when you talk about listening skills, I think it's under the broad spectrum of communication. When you talk of working on your speaking skills, because as a diplomat, you do a lot of speaking, it's also under communication. Then when you talk about being able to speak with tact, there's something known as tact. In other words, I'm trying to look for another word for it until I get one, but speaking with tact, being able to not just speak with emotions, but being logical what you say and knowing what to say at what time. They are all under communication. Another thing you need to learn is also negotiation skills. And if you still ask me, negotiation is still somehow under communication. You have to be able to go into situations and diffuse issues. Because basically, as a diplomat serving outside the country, that is what you do. Let's say your country is at loggerheads on certain policies with another country, and you're sent to represent your country there. You should be able to listen, pick out what is beneficial to you, and if there is an issue, diffuse it as a diplomat. Your work as a diplomat is to enhance peaceful coexistence. So communication really goes a very long way. But other than that, another thing you need to train yourself on is reading. You have to be able to read a lot, be vast, pick things about countries easily, keep up with the news. For the young ones in secondary schools, you have to really be interested in learning about other countries, knowing what is obtainable in those countries, know about their geographical issues, know about their population. Just gather, you have to love to learn and gather information for you to serve well as a diplomat.
Thank you so much, Ma. I truly appreciate that, or those bullet points that you just marshaled to us. I would like to open the floor for our participants at this point in time for questions. Do we have questions that I would like to ask any of our panelists? Does that suggest justice has been done to most of the concerns? Okay. If that is the case, I will come quickly to you, Admiral John, sir. What will be your parting shot at this point? Your advice to someone who is about making a career decision out there and who is asking himself, should I go to Navy? Should I plan to become a pilot? Should I be interested in becoming a foot soldier? Or should I aspire to become a chief of army staff? What would be your advice at this point in time for someone who is about making a long career decision?
I would advise them to come to the service that wears the white and white. That is the Navy.
No,
the Naval service. The Naval is versatile, for instance.
That's been sentiment. White or white? No. That you are trying to canvas us because you put on white and white, and you are trying to cajole us to come in. No. We want more.
the man who wears white and white will not want his uniform to be stained. Am I correct? Yes.
Yeah,
if you wear white and white, you will not go and fight on the streets. Good. And secondly, you are very, very conscious of your environment. And also, the unique thing about the Navy is that I am a pilot and also a captain of a ship. I drive the ship. I was the commanding officer of NNS Aradu, Nigerian Navy flagship. I can drive the ship and also fly. And even after retirement as an admiral, they were still asking me to come and take a job as a helicopter pilot, as an instructor, even in Nigeria. So I told them, no, after retiring as an admiral, I don't want to go and be a driver in the air. I'm satisfied with my profession, so I went to the water. So it's either I can be in the air or also in the water. So I chose the maritime domain where I am now as the CEO of Delta Maritime Solution. So the helicopter pilot is a very, very good profession. If you have passion for it, I will tell you, go for it. You have no regrets, like I'm enjoying it today. So the young ones that are around there, please come to the Navy through the NDA with your school start, 5 credits, including English and maths, and the sky is your limit.
Thank you so much.
Are you with me?
Yes, I heard you loud and clear, sir. I'm already desirous of putting on white and white too. And I'm marching up and down, putting on white and white and saying, I'm in Navy. I carry honor. Thank you so much, sir. So
thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Mr. Kamal, I would like to hear from you also. What would be your word of advice for our young students out there who are about making career decisions?
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I was on that. I think basically the first thing is to discover yourself, your passion, what profession you like to go into. And the only thing that I would say that there is no profession that you decide to that will not that is not taken care of in the civil service. If they can come to the civil service is now very okay. It's now this that's now grooming young people to be great minds. You understand? So first things first, decide on your role, what you want to do. Because when you have a passion, when you pursue what you have a passion for, you'll be able to deliver the best. The person have a clear picture of what he wants to do, And by the time you're done with your university and all, come into the service, you always find a job for you in there to be able to pursue a career.
Thank you so much.
That's just.
Thank you so much, sir. That is well noted. And Mrs. Onyeka, would you like to give a parting shot from your hand, ma'am? What would be your advice also?
Okay, to the young ones out there, generally, our advice, dream big, never stop dreaming. And when you have dreams, don't think there's any dream that is too high. Pursue your dreams relentlessly. And then never stop learning, never stop listening, never stop researching and looking for knowledge. It will help you in a long way. Also, if in pursuing your career, whatever career you find yourself in, always remember that we are all representatives of our country. We are all diplomats in one way or the other, whether we like it, whether you're working with the foreign ministry or not. Your actions in a long way would determine how Nigeria is seen. So before you take any action, always ask yourself, am I representing my country properly? When this action is heard of, or will it tell a good story about my country, about my personality? And for those of you who will be interested in working in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the sky is your limit. You are welcome. Learn a lot about what you can about your country, so that when you find yourself out there tomorrow, outside the country representing Nigeria, you'll be proud as a diplomat to say, yes, I'm representing my country. So never stop learning, never give up on your dreams. And of course, the sky would always be your starting point.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, ma. So it is at this point I would like to draw a curtain on today's session. I want to say a big thank you to Mr. Kamal for making our time of this session today. We sincerely appreciate your time. We sincerely appreciate your contribution. And we do trust that when we call on you next time, you will be much available to attend to us.
Of course I will. Thank you very much for having me.
To our retired Admiral John Kpokpogri, we sincerely appreciate your boldness, sincerely appreciate your campaign, sincerely appreciate your sincere word of advice. And we also trust God that even as the CEO of your company, it will continue to prosper and to go from lips, bounds to bounds. Even in God, we trust in the name of Jesus. And also to
Thank you very much.
You are still in Nigeria, so let me withdraw diplomat and call you Foreign Affairs Officer. We appreciate you, Mrs. Sabina, for making our time out of your busy schedule to be part of this. We have taken more than an hour of your time this morning. This is 10:30. We have taken like 90 minutes of your time. We sincerely appreciate your comments, your contributions. And we do trust that we'll not have reasons to hesitate to invite you next time to be part of a session like this. Thank you so much, ma, for your time. We sincerely appreciate it.
I appreciate being here too.
Yes, ma'am. So, thank you, our participants. Until we meet again, thank you for now. Bye from my hand.
Bye. Thank you. Moderator.
Bye.